We all have strengths and weaknesses relative to other people. Maybe you're aware of the fact that you have subpar intelligence. Maybe you're slow to understand some riddles and jokes. Perhaps you always lose in games of chess. Or maybe you're aware of the fact that you're overweight and consequently you have feminine-looking breasts. Normally, we call these insecurities. However, in today's society, this word is taking on a stigma. People will always tell you not to be insecure. In fact, there's movements all across social media, people flaunting their insecurities, trying to get other people to be proud of their own insecurities. Now, on the surface, this seems inspiring, seems motivating and innocent. But not all that glitters is gold. All those people who are proudly displaying their insecurities may not actually feel that proud in reality. In fact, if they continue to display that insecurity, they won't get as much positive reinforcement as had if they didn't. In fact, they might even get negative reinforcement for showing it. Obviously, the counter argument they will always make is that you shouldn't care what other people think about you. You should be proud of who you are. But once you understand how important positive reinforcement is to your mental health, you'll realize that you actually should care about what people think about you. You can't always be happy as an adult. Our serotonin levels tend to increase when we eat, accomplish something, or get validation from someone else. This is because your mind understands that these are things that are helping you on your path to not only survive, but eventually reproduce. Unfortunately, these mechanics are deep-rooted in our DNA. We can't exactly hack our biology to change what's going to influence our happiness, at least not yet. So, why would you intentionally reduce your chances of receiving positive reinforcement, validation, and compliments while increasing your chances of receiving negative reinforcement and bullying? In other words, you would be intentionally doing harm to your mental health, decreasing your happiness. The people on social media are in very different situations than the people consuming the content. They're making a trade-off by showing their insecurities on a viral video. They're seen as a leader of a movement and thus get a lot of support in the comments. Sure, they might not be seen as perfect as had if they hid their insecurities, but it's a pretty reasonable trade-off for their net happiness. They might even be able to monetize that following and make a good amount of money. On the other hand, the consumer gets none of those benefits. They are solely exposing that insecurity and not gaining anything else in return. At best, they might receive some artificial compliments to their face, while those same people make jokes behind their back. Okay, so what am I saying? I'm saying you need to stop falling for this bullshit. It matters what people think about you. You might not realize it or admit it, but it has an effect on your happiness whether you like it or not. You can't control it. This is simply our biology. So if there's an insecurity of yours that you can hide, you should try your best to hide it, or even make changes if possible. If you're overweight, not only should you try to get in a healthier state, but in the meantime, you should avoid things like tight clothing. You should wear clothing that conceals your breasts, not tight t-shirts. If you're insecure about your intelligence, try to avoid situations where it might be displayed, like a game of trivia or chess. Talk less. In fact, I have a full video why talking less in general is ideal for many reasons. If you're balding, don't proudly slick your hair back to show people you don't care. You should choose a style that hides it, or even consider saving up for a transplant. Stop being afraid of the word insecurity. Insecurity is your friend. It is your self-awareness of your strengths and your weaknesses. It is your brain warning you ahead of time. Always highlight your strengths and hide your weaknesses. Now, there is a reversal to this. Unfortunately, there may be things that you not only can't change, but perhaps it's so significant that you can't hide it either. In these rare cases that you can't hide it even partially, then you should take the approach of being proud of your weakness. The only other exception is if you are making a calculated trade-off like social media influencers do. Some will show off their insecurity in hopes of building a following out of it, and in many cases it could be very profitable and even lead to lots of positive reinforcement for the creator. You, as an average person, though, if you can change your insecurities or even hide them, then you certainly should. Because being insecure is simply being smart.